I don't know about you, but there's a few things that I have never thought about. One thing is that how do you actually really clean the inkjet printheads when you have them in your machine? And the second thing is, how do manufacturers test ink, substrates, printheads, all the things that we just take for granted when we buy an inkjet machine. And I'm so fortunate that I'm talking to Roberto from People&Technology. I was looking because I know that company, but I forgot about it. Roberto, let's start with we are here with the ink tester here, because if you produce inkjet printheads, and if you want to make sure that it works in all the applications and with all the inks and all the substrates, you can of course build a lot of machines yourself, right?
Yeah.
But you could also invest in this one, right?
Which is more cheaper.
More cheaper, yeah. So let me understand a little bit about this. So basically, you have a frame here, right?
Yes.
And in this frame, you have, in this example, I guess that you can configure it differently, right? But in this frame, you have like, is it like air dryer in the first one, or?
Yes, that is the last part of the machine.
Oh, that's the last part of the machine. Sorry.
Then we start.
Okay,
from
let's
that.
start here. Yeah. So
okay,
we basically have some material you want to test.
Yes.
And we put it in here.
That's it.
And then we have the first station here.
The first station where you can get up to 2 colors,
Yeah.
2 inks, 2 different products.
Yeah.
Okay. To jet in.
And in this example, with the first station here, you have 2 Seiko printheads, and
That's it.
a 1536L and M. And then you have a UV dryer.
And a pinning UV lamp.
Yeah.
That is for pinning,
Yeah.
not for curing.
Not for curing.
No, it's just for pinning.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
So here, basically, this is the first station. So here you have like the first thing where you can test, does the UV ink matches whatever I need.
In that case, we are able to test in that station 2 colors.
Yeah.
And then in the next one.
I have one more question.
Tell
So
me.
basically, in this incident where we use UV inks, right?
Yes.
You basically, with the same printhead, some printheads can use UV ink, and some can use water, and some can use both, right?
Yes, and someone can handle any kind of liquid, let's say.
Okay.
Okay. But in that case, those printheads are thinking for UV.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you create a machine like this, you don't really care about what they put in it, right? That's up
No.
to the tester.
That is
if
an ink tester.
Yeah. So if they invent a totally new ink, you don't care. They test it on their own printers, basically,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes.
Okay. And then we move to the next station here. So here we also have UV drying, right?
Yes, because in that case the purpose is to make CMYK.
Yeah.
And
So
to
you
check.
have like the 4.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have 2 colors here, CM, YK here.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is the reason because we have a pinning lamp here and a curing lamp here.
Yeah.
Okay. To reproduce, in that case, you can reproduce exactly that happen in a single pass machine.
Yeah. Okay. So when we before spoke about that this is about testing the printheads, the inks, and the substrate,
Yes.
this is also actually testing the quality of the
Sure.
controller technology
Yes,
to
yes,
make sure
yes,
that
sure.
you have alignment in everything that goes into the image, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So another thing is also it's able for R&D to develop new products. So we can test actually substrates or inks or printheads, but think about the new products that you can do with in the market, introduce in the market for functional inks, for example. So you need in R&D you need some device that allow to you to mix all the printheads, because initially you don't know which one is better for the project. As well, any kind of product in terms of ink or functional inks, and then substrates, because substrate is really very important related with the end quality.
And I was thinking that when I look at this machine, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when I look at it, it also seems that the thickness of the substrate, you can adjust the printheads according to the substrate you want to test, right?
That's right. We have a gap up to 22 centimeters.
22 centimeters. Okay.
So we can print directly bricks, for example.
and when you test things like that, will you also test from what distance you can actually jet?
So, well, it depends on the printhead itself.
Okay.
For example, in that case, the RC printhead is allow to you to get 10 millimeters distance without any problem.
Okay.
In some
Is that
cases,
because you have like a relatively big drop sizes, or is it just because of how it's formulated?
It's because the printhead itself, because having a real recirculation inside, and because the design for the printhead is so strong that allow to you to make that.
Yeah.
Not all the printheads allow to you to make it, but for example, if you need to use a higher resolution, the maximum resolution for that printhead is 360. if you need 600, you need to move to another brand.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
but in that case, probably
but this is specifically what
It's
Seiko has
specific
chosen to be the best in it, right?
to make all the tests and the choice the right one for the product.
Yeah. Okay, then we move to the second last here, and here we have this is water-based, right?
Yes, that is water-based. You can see that is water-based because we have a degasser.
Yeah.
Okay, which is mandatory for the water-based ink.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can also see it because you don't have the UV dryer lamp.
We don't
on it
have
as well.
a UV dryer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it works the same way that you have the drawers with
It
the
always
inks.
is the same. You in each arm you have the possibility to have 2 ink systems. Okay.
That's just adding up to it, right?
Yes.
And we're not talking vodka and whiskeys here. We're talking about something way stronger, right?
And let me tell you that we are using a small ink tank because it's testing. So people, the critical point for them is to use the minimal quantity as possible because they usually want just to check. And then they want to spend the minimal time to cleaning the system and to be able to repeat again and a new test. Okay.
Okay, super cool. And then before we move to the last thing, because there's something interesting with this one here, is that a camera inspection system?
It's not related to that.
Okay.
You can place, that is the drop watcher.
Okay.
Okay, and you can place the drop watcher in any of the arms.
Okay. So that basically you can actually on a camera perspective you can test after each drop has been delivered.
That's
so
it.
You can test it.
That's it. Anyone, again for any brand and model of the print heads. Okay.
Fantastic.
That technology come from Meteor, UK company.
Yeah, I know Meteor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's the same. Happened the same for him. They need a support to serve his camera because otherwise they have the camera but they don't have the device to jet and to make the test. So the combination is very convenient for the end user.
And then at the end we have, what is that?
In that case we have 2 dryers, okay, from Lambda company.
So that is we spoke to your
Stefan
from Lambda just before. So
they have a big knowledge about how to dry the ink water. Okay, that again we are talking about an AR.
So basically, just to make sure that everybody understands, on the UV side, it's actually 100% dry when it leaves the UV dryer. But then we have the water base.
The water base.
And then it dries the water, and basically with the NIR, it dries it from the inside to make sure that you get
that's
almost the same qualities as
quality,
you get from
standard quality, and to be sure that the substrate become perfectly dry.
And basically, you have a printhead here that you have not inserted into the line, right?
No,
this is for the testing.
That is for the testing on the drop watcher.
Sorry, I didn't.
Okay, but let me show to you how you can move the bar outside. Okay, and then you can replace very easily the printhead. You can handle every connection and anything else.
How did you get into this business? I mean.
Well, it's because the industry is asking us. Honestly, the first machine that we are manufacturing for that was the digital, we call digital, which is a small one, which is necessary for test the printhead when we are cleaning. So after cleaning, we must to be sure that we are jetting well. And then, on behalf of that, companies are asking to make a biggest machine. So finally, we have 3. This is the big one. Then we have the NG, which is the medium one, and then we have the digital, which is a small one, which is just for 1 ink system.
We have to talk about one thing, because we spoke about that ink testing is like one side of your business, and then we have the cleaning. We go and talk about the cleaning.
Okay, let's move to the cleaning area.
So you are the one-man call if you want to make a cleanup, right, somewhere, right? and we have been talking quite a lot about the testing system. So let's make this a little bit shorter. I was just thinking, because basically what you told us is that you have, let's say you have invested in an inkjet system.
Yes.
And of course, when the ink heads are not used, they go in a pause or hibernation status where they are kind of cleaned, but they're just like dried basically, or
Yes.
kept whatever.
They try to removing only the external particle that can be in the nozzle plate.
Yeah.
But they are not able in the printed
To clean it inside. Yeah.
and to make a deep clean.
Yeah.
So not only related to the nozzle plate, but to all the corners, all the circuit inside, filters that can be inside the printheads.
So what you do here is basically that you sell a machine like this one,
Yes.
where a company who has invested in an inkjet machine, now they can take out the print heads and put it into a deep cleaning, rinsing process. And as you said before, if a printhead doesn't work, you can either replace it or you can at least try to see if you can fix it, right?
That's it. So when the printheads get lines, and it's nothing related with the printhead itself, it's all together. It's because the ink, because the environment, because the maintenance of or maybe the lack of the maintenance in the printer. Before or later, all the printheads get lines. When you have lines in the printhead, you start to losing quality in the printing. Okay. So after that, we have only two ways to handle that. Or replace the printhead for a new one, and then you are wasting money, or try to recover the printhead. And after recovery, the printheads are exactly the same than new one. It's
fantastic, right?
Perfect. Yeah.
And is it like always that you can fix them, or is it like 90% or 80%, or how?
We are moving always more than 70% recovery ratio.
Okay. So that's a good value,
yes,
of course. Yeah.
Yes.
And when we got a little presentation before, you basically showed that you have some.
So the machine is always the same, okay. And then to handle different models and brands, we need. So we call it seal, but we can talk about an adapter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that fits to the size of the printhead.
That's it. And that is so because in that case maybe we can see better in details in that.
Because it's a little bit bigger here, and that is and you have like engraved for what printhead it works for, yeah.
And also because when we place the printhead inside the adapter, okay, and we place in that tray, with that we are prevent that the ultrasons arrive directly to the nozzle plate, which is dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it could be damaged if you have too high pressure or
yes. So we keep inside some part of the ultrasons,
so you can control.
But we are modifying.
So that means that you can control the pressure alone from having the nozzles, and basically you make sure that the pressure that goes in here cannot exceed what the printhead can.
That's it. That is the reason because we have a different recipe for each one.
Yeah.
Okay. Each not brand but each model, each single model have a different recipe.
Yeah. What do I mean, the printhead manufacturers, they probably prefer to sell new printheads, right?
It's a fantastic question. So that was our initial, let's say, problem to be in the market. All right. Initially, the printhead manufacturers don't believe in that technology because they think that they are selling less. And honestly talking, the first company who believed in that was Seiko. And now, it's, I don't know why, I know, but I prefer that the people think about, they are selling more. And that is so because when you want to introduce in the new market new technology, if you say that the most expensive part, which is the printhead, you need to waste every time that get lines, it's not viable in terms of economy.
So it gives a better, it gives a better trust to the brands that actually support that it is possible.
That is what you are doing, and actually, many brands, many printhead manufacturers believe in that, because
also from a sustainability agenda, it makes sense, right?
That's it.
I mean, talking about sustainability, you have also you reuse some of the chemical that you use here, right?
Yes, but we are using neutral product, which is not dangerous for the environment. It's completely neutral.
So is it more like the pressure basically and the water, or?
No, we have two. One is water, for water-based, because we cannot mix with the other one, and we have another cleaner which is for UV inks plus oil or solvent. But even that, it's really very neutral. It's not dangerous at all. So in the bottle, you don't see any pictogram, anyone. So that means that it's really very neutral for the environment. And each printhead that we can recover, we are reducing the amount of waste industrial waste, which is very dangerous because in the printhead we are mixing electronic, we are mixing plastic, metals, and ink. Okay. So it's really very convenient for everybody try to recover before to waste the printhead. In terms of economy and in terms of environment.
Yeah. Final question here, Roberto. You are here at the Seiko Open Weeks 2022.
Yes.
How is it for you?
Oh, it's perfect. We have a fantastic collaboration with Seiko. In fact, it's the second time that we are making. We are making last year, which get a fantastic result for us. And this year, as you can see, there is many visitors. So we are really very happy to get this relationship with the Seiko. And for sure, for us, it's a fantastic opportunity.
Nice
Thank you,
talking to
guys.